When Evelyn's last surviving relative, her great uncle Aldrich, passed away, she inherited his Victorian mansion deep in the fog drenched countryside of New Hampshire. The house was a sprawling, rotting monument to another time, its walls draped in moth eaten wallpaper and corridors lined with dusty portraits of long dead family members. Evelyn, a skeptical historian with no belief in the supernatural, saw it as an opportunity to catalog its contents and sell it off. But the townsfolk whispered warnings. Don't enter the mirror room. She laughed off the warnings until she saw the room herself. On the second floor, behind a door with a tarnished bronze handle shaped like a screaming face, was a chamber lined entirely with antique mirrors. Not one was the same, some convex, others warped, but all grotesquely aged. And one of them blinked. Evelyn stepped into the mirror room, heart thudding. The air grew colder, the silence intense, like the house itself was holding its breath. The mirrors did not reflect her properly. Each one showed a slightly different version of her, older, bruised, smiling when she wasn't, or turning their heads ever so slightly out of sync. She froze. The mirror in the far left corner displayed something else entirely. A small, hunched figure standing behind her. When she turned, there was nothing. But in the mirror, it remained. Closer now, its mouth sewn shut, and eyes black like wet coal. The lights flickered. For a second, her own reflection stared directly at her with absolute hatred, and mouthed words she couldn't hear. She ran from the room, but the door slammed behind her, trapping her inside. The mirrors began to hum, softly at first, then louder, vibrating with malevolence. Days passed. She couldn't bring herself to enter the room again, yet every night she heard it. The humming from the mirrors now bled into the rest of the house, low, melodic, and almost seductive. Then came the whispers. They spoke in tongues. Sometimes it was her name, sometimes lullabies twisted in reverse. One night, she woke up with shards of glass in her bed, though every mirror was still whole. The reflection of her bedroom always seemed a beat behind, lagging like a broken film reel. The worst part? She began seeing herself around the house, in the hallway, standing still, in the bathroom mirror, brushing her teeth when she wasn't. She watched one version of herself smile wickedly and place a pale claw-like hand on the inside of the mirror's surface. She was no longer alone in the mansion. Determined to end it, Evelyn smashed the mirror that first blinked at her. It didn't shatter like normal glass. It bled. A thin trickle of dark syrupy liquid oozed from the crack, and the room began to shake. Then, from the largest mirror, something stepped through. Tall, skin stretched unnaturally tight across a bone-thin frame. Its face was featureless, except for deep-set eyes and a mouth stitched with rusted wire. It moved without sound, its limbs jerking as if manipulated by unseen strings. Evelyn fled, but the house fought back. Doors vanished behind her, windows bricked themselves over, the staircase unraveled beneath her feet. She ran blindly into the cellar and locked the door. But there, on the opposite wall, was another mirror, and it was breathing. In the cellar, Evelyn faced her reflection for the last time. But it wasn't her. It was them. 1,000 Evelyns stared back, each trapped, each mouthing the same word. Help. The mirror man appeared behind her, in the reflection, but not in reality. She understood now. The room wasn't a portal. It was a prison. Every soul that entered became part of the mirror's collection. She was the latest inmate. Suddenly, her reflection smiled. It reached out, hand pressing against the glass. Evelyn screamed, stepping back. But it was too late. Her own hand, against her will, mirrored the gesture. Their palms touched, and she vanished. The cellar light flickered off. Upstairs, the humming stopped. Silence returned to the house. A week later, a real estate agent unlocked the front door, calling out into the emptiness. On the second floor, the mirror room waited. And in the largest mirror, a new reflection had joined the others. Her eyes wide, mouth open in a silent scream.